Hello, this is Christoph with Kaiserworks presenting Tella Peralta. In this first image, we're looking at an aerial of a section of the Superstition Mountains that's located approximately 45 miles east of the downtown Phoenix area. Just above the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you see a road that emerges and takes us into the site. The first thing that you'll see upon arrival into the site is what you see here is a diagonal white bar. This is our main event tent. And then further to the right in this image, we have our first grouping of 5 tents. And right now we'll be flying in to the portion of the road where you first encounter the main event tent and the first grouping of smaller individual tents off to the right. We're now fading into a rendering that we've created at dusk. This is at the point in the road at which you first begin to see the main event tent on the left-hand side of the road, and on the right-hand side of the road you see the first 2 of 5 of our first tent groupings. These are the individual tent suites that can accommodate between 1 and 4 individuals depending on how they're configured. Traveling now deeper into the site, we are approaching our main point of arrival. This is situated at the southeast end of the main event tent. Guests will pass through this initial entry garden and into a forecourt, and then beyond that into the main lounge and lobby area. Rotating our cameras now to be oriented towards the northwest, we see now how dramatically long this very unique building is, and also how it acts as a lantern in the desert. What we're depicting here is what may be a familiar scene to this building. The guests of honor, in this case a bride and groom, have been dropped off at the main drop-off point. They're being welcomed by their friends and family that are situated in the forecourt. And then beyond that, acting as a lantern to illuminate that entire scene, is the lounge and lobby space of the main event site. Turning now to the right or to the north, we find a road that runs parallel with our main event tent. This road leads to a roundabout that gains you access to 4 different walking paths, each one taking you to a different point of entry for our main event tent. Here from this perspective, you can see the porosity or the transparency of this very large building by virtue of the roll-up panels which exist between the structural bays. When all of these are in the up position, you can literally look right through the building. We're going to approach now our southeast lounge lobby area. At this point in the entry, on our right-hand side, we can see our main bathroom and kitchen volume that contains our commercial kitchen. And as we pivot to the left, we see our grand hearth, the main fireplace that grounds this space, and the 2 lounge areas on either side of it. Beyond that, we have a bar that also serves as our concierge, and beyond that, we have additional seating. And you can also see how the exterior lounge area becomes an extension of the interior lounge area. The palette that we are proposing is a white structure with white canvas set against raw earthen materials like our rammed earth hearth and stabilized decomposed granite for the ground and wood accents. We feel that this combination of materials will become a signature of Cloth and Flame and Tella Peralta. Turning around approximately 180 degrees, oriented towards the northwest, we now see our primary interior volume comprised of rammed earth with wood above it. This is an approximately 3,000 square foot volume containing our commercial kitchen and bathrooms. Walking towards the main dining hall, we're in a somewhat compressed space, and that accentuates your moment of arrival when you step into this very grand dining hall that can seat 400 people and looks out to the Superstition Peaks beyond, looking to the north and to the west. Passing now through the glazing wall that sits at the northwest end of our grand dining hall, we enter our primary outdoor event space. This is a very dramatic scene. We have a wash that runs just in front of our seating area here with the Superstition Peaks as the backdrop to that scene. Rotating around now, we would see the reflection of the Superstition Peaks in the glass facade, looking back into our main dining space. We're going to take a walk now along the east side of our main event tent en route to our individual tent suites. These are the clusters of 5 tents that I mentioned previously. We're pausing here briefly. This is our entry court. We didn't pass through here previously, but this is what you would experience as you're walking in from the main point of arrival en route to the lounge and lobby space. And now passing further beyond to the south and east, we walk across the road that we drove in on, and we discover a path that leads to the first grouping of 5 tents. Here we're lifting up approximately 60 feet in the air to gain view of our other groupings off in the distance. And as you can see from this elevated perspective, each tent is accessed by way of an individual path that wraps around trees, in this case mesquite trees, which are placed in an effort to control the views for each individual tent suite. The location of each tent and its orientation is designed to maximize privacy from one tent to the next, as well as maximizing views to this epic landscape that these tents sit within. This is a rendering of an evening shot. Here you can see again how these smaller tents act as lanterns as well. They illuminate the desert directly in their vicinity, and you can also see a second tent off to the right. The reality of this desert landscape is such that you don't need to be too far from your neighbor to not have line of sight to them. Here we're going to rotate up and to the right slightly and look at an x-ray view of one of our tents. These are 570 square foot footprints. 350 square feet of that is interior space. Each unit has a fireplace and can accommodate 1 or 2 queen-size beds. There's a bathroom volume that's situated at the back right here. We're going to fly over the top of our bathroom sink and close on this view. Looking to the north and west, we're looking across at the Dacite Cliffs, which is a very dramatic part of the topography in the Superstition Peaks. We hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Thank you.